everybody. It's Vicki Stark here for another Tuesday evening Q&A. So happy to be here with you. And it's really exciting because I'm getting more and more questions every week. There's so many fabulous questions. I'm sorry I can't answer them all. But tonight we're going to be addressing 3 really serious and difficult questions, and hopefully I can shed some light and help you deepen your understanding of these issues. The first question is from Carol, who says, I haven't seen my ex in 2.5 years. My oldest is getting married next February, and she has just started talking to her dad. There's a real chance he'll be at the wedding. How do I deal with that? My youngest thinks it would be awkward for that to be the first time I see him and wants me to meet with him and his girlfriend, I suppose, before the date of the wedding. That's a firm no for me, and I don't want to be bullied into doing it. Any advice on approaching this date? Now, this is a question that I often get. And as a matter of fact, I have another person who asked the same question for today's Q&A. And this is it's such an important question because that is a day that should be a beautiful, serene, joyful, happy day in your life. And you don't want it to be colored by apprehension and fear, and for your experience of that day to be overshadowed by the fact that your ex is there, and maybe even your ex and his girlfriend. So I think that you have to take back your day and keep your focus firmly on your daughter and her fiance, and be determined that you're not going to let the fact that your ex is going to be there or might be there ruin the day for you. And I agree with you. I don't think it's a good idea to meet with them in advance, because there you'd have to, I mean, what are you going to say? How are you going to have that conversation? And it would be very awkward. I think at a wedding, typically there's 40, 50, 80, 100 people there, and you can sort of circulate around and not have to make too much time talking to him. If you and he have to walk your daughter down the aisle, then I know you're going to do it graciously, and that you're going to keep your own apprehensions away from your daughter, so that this day she's going to have it in her mind, like, how's mom going to be doing? But you don't want to strengthen that fear on her part. So, you know, you've worked very hard to raise this daughter, and hopefully this is going to be a happy event and a happy wedding. And so you want to give yourself a pat on the back for everything that you've done in raising this child, and go into the day with a sense of positive anticipation and determination that you're not going to let the fact that your ex is going to be there color it for you or for your daughter. So the second question is sort of in 2 parts. Kat says, I'm struggling this week with thoughts about being replaced by the new girlfriend of my ex-husband. I absolutely hate the thought of my kids being with her and my ex, and them being the new family of 4 that we once were. My daughters are still young, 8 and 6, and I already hate that I'm missing out on so much of them growing up when they're over at their dad's house. Now this woman, whom I've never met, and who I don't want to meet, frankly, will be their new stepmom and spend time with them that I'm losing. Any way to stop obsessing over this and come to acceptance? And then we got a second question from Cindy, who said, this is a current struggle for me too. Our children are 6 and 1, and they still need so much help with everything. And the thought of the other woman changing a diaper or brushing their teeth kills me. Plus, now he has plans to introduce her to the kids, and he's planning to take a family vacation to Disney. Pure torture. Well, Kat and Cindy, you're right. It is pure torture, and it is one of the hardest things that moms with young children have to deal with. The thought of their children being folded into this new life with their ex-husband, and and in some cases it's the other woman who broke up, who was there at the breakup of the marriage, or the new girlfriend. And this isn't only a runaway husband's phenomenon. I mean, it's a very common phenomenon in any kind of divorce, that it's so painful, first of all, to feel as though he and the kids and the other woman are going on and living your life. Sometimes even in your house, if you moved out and left it to him, which is what happened to my friend, and how hard that is. But the other piece of it is feeling as though your kids are now going to be spending part of their life with this other woman. And again, it's sort of similar to the question that came before from Carol about the wedding, which is that, again, my heart goes out to you. And this is such a hard thing to do. But what you need to do is keep your children's health, mental health and emotional health firmly in mind. And that means that as long as it's a peaceful enough, a positive environment at the other house, that you're going to not let the children know about your reservations and about your discomfort. Hopefully you can do that. And so that you're going to be neutral when they come back and say, oh, we went to Disney, it was so much fun, and Teresa was such a doll, and she did this, that, and the other thing, and you're going to say, oh, really? I'm so glad you had a good time. And you're not going to make snide comments about Teresa or the other woman. And it means also that you can start to distract yourself, particularly in the beginning, when the kids are over at their dad's house, when there's another woman in the picture. And you have to keep very busy on those weekends. And one of my favorite sayings is, what's extraordinary becomes ordinary. So in the beginning, it hurts like hell and you're really suffering. But over time, you will have your life, and hopefully you will be busy doing nice things when the kids are away. And it will become ordinary, and it's not going to be as significant and as painful as it is when the whole thing starts out. But I do want to say, there are some questions, there are some situations there's no easy answer to. And this is where this whole runaway husband scenario is sort of, the gift that keeps on giving, in that it forces you to work on yourself, to stop obsessing, to take good care of yourself, and to grow as an individual, keeping your children's mental health in mind. So the final question is a difficult question, and it's come up several times in the Facebook group. And Linda writes, my question for your Facebook Live is, what do we do as a group or as individuals if a member of this group is expressing that she's considering suicide? Someone recently posted that she couldn't cope anymore and just wanted the pain to stop. She typed KMS at the end of her post. I had no idea what this could mean until a member asked her if it meant killing myself. This has worried me since I read the post. Can you please address situations like this? So, in our Facebook group, there are times when people are so distraught. And I think, many of us remember times when we were so distraught that life felt really hard, that it felt hard to go on. If you sort of wished, maybe not that you would end your life, but that you would go to sleep tonight and not wake up tomorrow. And then I promise you, as time goes on, those painful thoughts diminish and they do go away. And eventually, hard to believe in the beginning, but you can be happy again. So if you see that somebody has indicated in their post that they're so distraught that they're questioning whether life is worth living, please contact me. And I'll be able to locate who the person is, and I'll send a private message. And I've done that several times before. Because it is serious and it is true that sometimes people feel like life is too hard, and they really need some help and encouragement, and I'm happy to do that. And I really, Linda, really appreciate this question, because it is a very important point, so that don't be shy. Contact me. Let me know if I've missed it. Point it out to me, and then I'll get in touch with the person. So that's us for tonight. I wanted to just remind you that the Sedona retreat, which is taking place May 27th to 31st, the end of the early bird rate is on March 9th, which is in a few days. So if you're considering coming to the retreat, which will be a wonderful experience for you if you can possibly swing it, I just want to make sure that you don't miss the discount that comes with the early bird rate. And that's it. So I hope everybody have a great week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.